Now, tonight is the night of the BRIT Awards, and stars such as Adele, Ed Sheeran and Dave will be hitting the stage with an exclusively British lineup. That's what it's all about at the BRIT Awards. Now, last year's Brits took place as part of the government's pilot scheme for the return of live events with a mixture of virtual and in-person performances. And as On the Money viewers will be well aware, the pandemic hit the music industry hard. But with COVID restrictions now almost entirely lifted, tonight's event will be almost entirely back to normal, and Adele will be performing at the Brits for the first time since 2016. Is the UK's world-class live and recorded music industry finally bouncing back? Joining me to discuss this, I'm delighted, is Gennaro Castaldo of the record label association BPI, which runs the BRIT Awards, of course. And we also have a return to On the Money of the singer and songwriter Tom Speight, who's tuning in to the show from his tour bus. Tom, great to see you. Big fans here of your work. Gennaro, let's talk to you first. Just think back, this time last year, even this autumn, when you and I were talking about this, the impact of lockdown on our world-class, money-spinning, export-promoting British live and recorded music industry.
Yeah, I mean, the impact was massive, particularly on the live sector, as we've spoken before, because artists and all the people that work with them weren't able to get into the venues, the festivals, and enjoy doing what they do best, which is to entertain. And Tom, your guest, will know that to his cost as well. On the recorded music side, actually, people, because we as fans and consumers did turn to music in ever greater sort of numbers. I think recorded did okay, and obviously it's a global business now, so we were able to sort of promote our artists all around the world. So that was fantastic through streaming. But it was live where it was particularly hit. Having said that, we were able to put a Brits on last year. It was incredibly challenging. We did it as part of that pilot scheme, as you say. We were honoured, really. We were able to invite 3,000 key workers who came along as our special guests. And that made it a very, very special atmosphere, I think, for us, for them as guests, and particularly for the artists. So it was a memorable landmark occasion, but it's wonderful to be able to get to a slightly more normal situation this year where we've got more of an audience there, and we've got the most amazing lineup of artists who are going to be performing, and hopefully they're receiving awards. The most amount of nominees we've ever had, most diverse, breadth and depth of British music reflected in all its glory. So I would encourage all your viewers to watch tonight. If they're not going in person, 8 o'clock live on ITV and ITV Hub. It will be spectacular, it will be brilliant, and it will be memorable.
Indeed, if they're not watching GB News. Now, Tom Speight, we've just heard the British music industry is getting back on the move, and you are physically on the move. Your little head's bobbing up and down because you're on your tour bus, rolling along the road, on the road again.
I am.
What's it like to be back on tour, to be a performer, having been caught up in lockdown like all the rest of us? How good does it feel to be heading for the open road again and the live stage?
It's fantastic, actually. Yeah, it's the first night of the tour, and I'm currently on my way to Leeds, and we're finishing off in London, so on the end of the week. So yeah, it's just so nice, and hopefully everyone will stay safe, and we're looking forward to seeing the fans again, really.
Big fans of yours here on The Money. You've appeared in the studio before. Please come back again, because I see you as somebody who's really breaking through as a singer and songwriter, despite the lockdown. But of course, a lot of your contemporaries trying to break through as well. They really have been stymied, haven't they, by these COVID rules. Hopefully now they can do their best to make their way.
Yeah, I think it feels like the right time to kind of bounce back.
And there we go. We've lost Tom because he is rolling along the motorway. Tom, let's go back to Gennaro Castaldo. Gennaro, it's showbiz. At least they know it's live, right?
No, I know. But speaking to Tom, luckily I've got a ticket to go and see him in London, the gig he was talking about. So I can't wait to see that. He's a brilliant performer. And the thing I love most about him is that he's built up his profile with his fans by himself, the most very loyal fans. They follow him everywhere via social media. He's got very active Instagram and Twitter accounts, TikTok and everything. And he's doing it all by himself. And in a world where there are more artists than ever before, all trying to sort of compete for our attention, Tom understands that it's about engaging directly, building that emotional contact. So I think, as we said before in a previous interview, he's been streamed over 200 million times in total, which for someone who doesn't necessarily have that sort of household name stature attached to him is remarkable, and it shows what can be done. In fact, if you allow me, one category we're particularly proud of at the Brits is the Rising Star Award. The very first recipient was Adele in 2008, and we've had some great names since then. In fact, as an award, it's a great predictor of artist success. It really sort of celebrates new artists, and it's actually music critics. It's not the BPI, it's music critics that vote for this. And we worked out that over the last 5 years, the 15 winners and nominees between them, so lots of young, exciting talent, the likes of sort of Griff and Rag and Bowman and others, Celeste, they've actually achieved 13.5 billion streams all around the world in just the last 5 years in 2021, so just 1 year. So it shows what an amazing platform the Brits are for new talent, for breakthrough artists, but equally for connecting British music all around the world, because not only will it be screened live tonight on ITV, but with the support of MasterCard, I should say, but it's going to be screened live all around the world with our digital partner YouTube as well. So we'll have fans everywhere, in Africa, Asia, America, etc., Europe, watching the Brits. That's fantastic for British music. So 1% population we account for, but 10% of all the music consumed in the world.
And long may that continue. Gennaro Castaldo, great to have you on the show. Tom Speight, sorry about the communications gremlins. Break a leg tonight, have a good gig. I look forward to seeing you again here in the On The Money studio. Gennaro Castaldo there of BPI, organisers of tonight's BRIT Awards, and singer-songwriter Tom Speight on tour.